All right, Alec. I have a boner. A
I
gaboner.
don't a gub owner. I don't.
That's
Oh,
right.
that's how we're starting this, huh?
That's right.
We've entered the HD
All right.
era. Oh, the gloves are off. Here it is.
You gotta have. I've always said you need to have more penises, and Gabon is just the next one.
The
I
Gabon.
don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Don't tune
This is
out now. This is
no.
just where it gets good. All
Yeah,
right.
we're getting steamy, I guess, in here. I don't know what the hell's going on, but sure, we're going and
Survivor
Survivor.
Gabon
It's been a
HD.
hot minute since we've recorded, Zach. I know for the folks out
That's true.
there, it hasn't been all that long, but for us, it's been quite a while. 2 months.
It's been several months since we've actually recorded a Survivor episode. Yeah, because we had done earlier this year, like halfway through the year, we did our 5 year celebration in person where we watched 9 episodes of Micronesia, and then when we came back, we did the next few episodes in succession,
Hmm.
and then after that, we had just been on a break as all these episodes were being uploaded. So yeah, now we're back in the mix on a weekly basis for Gabon, and
I've been looking forward to this, honestly,
hell
getting
yeah.
back into Survivor.
Hell yeah, and you can see every last detail of it. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
very
Um,
much so. Yeah. Do we have a scuffed cam? We don't have the scuff cam anymore.
I'm
Maybe
saying they gotta
that'll
bring it
be.
back. It would be like the elephant dung cam, you know.
Yeah. It's just like.
It's like right in an elephant's,
Just right up in their
right
business.
up in the tusk and on
All
in
right.
the trunk.
Trunk. There you go.
Trunk.
Yeah.
It's in one of the elephant's trunks. That's for sure. So how do you interpret that? So if you're new to the channel, Survivor is a show that let's start there.
This show
So
that
what is
aired on
Survivor?
CBS. It started in the year
It started in the
2000.
year 2000 and it's still running to this very day.
It's
And I'm
crazy.
still a big fan of Survivor. I've seen every season and been taking Alec through chronologically from the beginning. And you can
Hmm.
see the journey here on the channel. And we did a season review ever since the first season when we watched Survivor Borneo together. We did the first 3 seasons. We did videos on my solo channel. And then Tarqaron was born. We did a Survivor Marquesas review. And then when we got to Survivor Thailand, that's when we did episode by episode reactions. So you can see the reaction that Alec has to each individual episode. And we talk about the episode afterwards every week since. And then we still do a
Yeah.
season review at the end. Recently, we did our full tier list of the seasons and the winners thus far. And I have a currently unreleased video that I recorded called the Survivor Gabon preview /
Ooh,
prediction show, which is
that's
a new
actually gonna be a
thing
lot of fun.
I'm going to start doing for our series here. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm talking about what I think about the season going into it, having already seen it, and then I'm going to try to predict Alex's thoughts. And I put my money down on who his favorite player will be, where exactly he'll rank the season, where exactly he'll rank the winner, and we're going to see how accurate it was. So
Hmm.
we'll see.
That's a lot of fun. It'll be yeah, so that'll be a video obviously I won't watch.
But it's
Much
already
like
been
much like
out by
all.
now. But
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
like
I
when they
guess.
see
Oh,
this,
actually, oh, when they see this, it'll have already been out. Okay.
yeah,
But yeah, it's not a video I'm gonna watch. It's gonna be something where we'll all keep under wraps. It's kind of like this whole thing, actually. Like most of all this, I'm pretty much sworn to secrecy. I'm not like looking up Survivor information. I'm not,
yeah,
doing any Google searches or anything like that. I'm squarely in the year, I guess 2008 now. Would be the HG era.
2008,
2008.
2000, yeah, probably 2008.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's 17, right? So yeah, it would be 17, 18,
Mm-hmm.
and then 1920 will probably be in 2009, 2010, around that period of time. Um, but yeah, so I don't know anything about what's going on here, which is fun. I
It's an
like keeping it this way.
it's an important distinction because like most people when they get into Survivor, even if they haven't seen the seasons, they'll know this happened this season. I knew these seasons are coming. I know this person won this season. They probably would have known about the whole Eric immunity thing because that was such a talked about thing in the community,
Right.
And they just like
I
moments,
didn't know any of that.
which like just a lot of stuff. When I was catching up on Survivor seasons after I first got into it, I knew all these different things. Even like we watched my first watch of Pearl Islands was on this channel, but I knew about like the grandmother lie and all that. I knew Sandra won and all those things. So it's nice. We literally have a unique perspective here.
Yeah,
that
very cool,
untainted thus far.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful experience so far, and I want to continue to have it. It's been a great amount of fun.
Yeah, and we're gonna check it out, and we'll be here every week with a new episode. All right, and the way this works, there'll be a link in the description to see the highlights of our reaction to the episode, and then you can come back afterwards for the discussion. The highlights for this episode will be a little extended because the episode is extended, but usually the around 15-minute cut of the full episode, our reactions of it. So, all right. So go in the description for that and come back afterwards. All right.
Well, hey, there it is.
Survivor Gabon. We had Michelle and Jillian voted out from the Fang tribe.
Okay. I'm bored. I think the Sunshine and Rainbows tribe is so much more interesting to me. Like, I want to see more what's going on over there, but I think this because there's like no conflict or no interesting conflict, I guess.
And that might be why we're not. Both tribal councils were Fang.
Yeah,
too.
we're for Fang.
So they had to do
Fang is just kind of like a wet blanket, and it's just, I don't know. There's just something like weird about putting both of these episodes together, because there wasn't anything like overly interesting or dramatic about them. I mean, it felt.
Isn't that better then? Because otherwise they would have been 2 whole episodes for themselves.
Well, no. Well, no. I mean, ultimately, yes. I think this is where I was going with this. Ultimately, it's, I think, to its benefit, because we're getting some dull crap out of the way, basically. But like, to me, it almost smacks as well. First of all, we gotta make it a big splash because, hey, Survivor HD, we're in high definition now. We gotta make a big huge episode for the original. But also, Reek says, as exactly that, like, if we can't air these out of order because there's like, in terms of like an edit, there's just like nothing. There's just not enough going on. It's really, this episode is sort of the story of how the Fang tribe just can't really get it together. Until like sort of towards the end is sort of the, I guess, kind of the story.
It's certainly possible. It's also certainly possible that they just already were planning on doing the first 2 in one, just because it's like 18 people, maybe just to bring it down to their normal
numbers
schedule. If they had
maybe
16, I don't know.
Maybe it was always a sort of a decision from on high. I'm not sure, but
and it just happened. Because it's happened a lot in the past, where they just happen to luck out and you get a couple lesser exciting votes batched together. So it's just a lot. It's a lot of interpersonal conflict in this tribe, and people rubbing each other the wrong way, and
like pretty much off rip
immediately.
Like they're this immediately.
But with having it so
each other
quick, like to have to do it so quick in this double episode, you do like lose track of time, because it's like you see in that one tribe, because you barely get any time with that tribe. It's like, oh, Marcus and Charlie, we have the best relationship in the world, and it's just this tight, and it's like,
that's all we get.
30 seconds, and there's like, oh, we are in it for the long haul.
And then it's like, and then like our check in with them, it's like, we're gonna get Jackie and Corinne on our side, and then we see like a little bit of that going on, and then that's about it.
So I'll take your word for it. It was pretty like, it felt like it was all in one day, but it's like actually multiple days have passed, so they're actually growing closer in this time.
They've grown closer, and then they're like, and then Corinne, or I don't remember which one of them, is like, we can get Bob. We can get Bob on our side, I bet. So
any like standouts or from the cast or anything?
Stands
People
for the
listed there?
cast. I mean, I like Randy a lot. He's just such a fascinating individual because like he just looks pissed off all the time, and I kind of love it.
Mm-hmm.
I like him honestly, even though it's easy to clown on him. Ken's fun. I like Ken.
Ken, the
Um,
professional gamer, Ken.
the gamer, pro gamer.
All right, you want me to?
On Coda.
I want to give you. Hold on, I want to give you context for Ken.
Okay. Okay.
What do you praise professional? Do you remember this little thing?
He's a Smash Brothers player?
Yep. He was the
No
king of
way, really?
Smash. He was the first
Was
best melee player.
was he really?
Yeah. Remember?
Well, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So I showed this in my preview video too. This is the
Mm.
Smash Brothers. They just released the DVD for it.
Oh,
It's
cool.
like a little documentary. I remember we watched like a
Yeah.
couple episodes of it
We
years
did,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah,
While ago
he's
now,
in
yeah.
that. He's a subject of a lot of that.
I
So,
bet. Well, if he was the first king of Smash.
he
And
was
then
like
meanwhile,
2000. Like this is literally like 2002 through 2004 or something. You know.
that was like
Like
his reign.
yes, like really really early on, but he was like
Mm.
very dominant for a bit. But
Who is he? Who is he main? Who's his main?
Marth,
He's a Marth main.
there's a whole combo. There's a Ken combo. It's named after him
Mm-hmm.
in the melee
Mm.
community. He's like, it's like double forward air, down air when he like dunks. Marth dunks
That's
somebody.
that's crazy that he was able to coast on that as like I'm a professional gamer because he's a melee guy. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So yeah, it's like it was wild knowing like I knew who he was when I
yeah,
first
that is.
like I didn't watch this live. We had started with season 19 was like our first season, so I ended up watching this years later. Like this is one of the more recent ones I watched like a couple years ago. So,
Mm,
but yeah, so that's a little fun fact there.
cool.
So, who else?
I do really like the sort of Marcus Charlie dynamic. Like that's they're two of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
They're really kind of the only ones I know over in this tribe. Bob is kind of like he's the old guy that just does stuff, but
He's
like
doing stuff. Yeah, you just don't
doing
know
stuff
them
over there.
that well yet. The others.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of about it. I think for the brief period she was on, I liked Michelle's energy because she was just really sassy and like rude to everyone. And it was kind of funny, but
Yeah.
just like you can't antagonize people right off the bat, you know, because they're just gonna vote you out.
And that's how we're
And even
introduced to Ken.
even Ken was like, yeah, Ken was just straight up like, yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. You know, no one
hot
likes
girl.
you. Yeah, hot girl.
He's
That was very awkward. I will say, Ken might be cracked on the stick at Smash Brothers, but that was very awkward.
yeah. Yeah, he's like, if you ate that termite, it'll be pretty hot. Yeah, that'd be hot.
Yeah, it'd be hot. You're hot. And then she did it, and he's like,
But
"Wow, that
hey,
was hot."
at the end of the
It's like,
day, or
damn.
before she was voted out, she said she did enjoy Ken the most.
Yeah.
Though she also did say she's surrounded by losers or dorks or whatever. So she's just like, well,
Dorks,
the best of
dorks, and
this bunch I got around me.
dorks and losers, and then she also threw him under the bus with something too.
Yeah.
So he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, Ken was just sitting around or whatever during the challenge. It was like, okay.
Yeah. The vibes, you could tell the vibes were not, it was not looking good for Michelle just from her whole demeanor in that
Yeah.
tribal council and then just like throwing everybody out. It's like, okay, she's probably,
Mhm.
it's probably the writing on the wall there.
Yeah.
But
no, over that tribe, I'm very interested in Randy.
yeah.
So Randy's just
Yeah.
something else.
But
But Dan, the lawyer man,
Dan highly sus coming back from Exile Island.
yeah, he acted very weird. Well, yeah, he started acting weird like while he was out there. Like they started playing like the introspective music.
Yeah,
And,
he didn't deserve that music. He didn't earn
He
that.
did not deserve that music at all. It was so I felt like betrayed by the edit. I felt betrayed as a watcher.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah, so
it's very
the other tribe sends him to exile, and then
Mhm.
he has a choice for to get a clue or comfort. And He goes for the
Right.
clue, and then he's nowhere near finding that thing. He has no idea.
Yeah, they pan like up and over, and then like go over to like where it is, and it's like a mile over that way on the island. It's like
I forget what the clue was exactly, but it's like he did not even like process the clue.
no, not even remotely. He took it line by line, and then he was interpreting each line as like the meaning of the whole thing.
Yeah.
He's like, cross the lake. Oh, maybe it's in the lake. It's just like looking
Yeah,
in the
right.
lake. And I was like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
yeah. This is across the lake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and then
then
he
he's
starts in the
looking
lake.
in the lake.
Yeah, he's like, I looked for 5 or 6 hours. I don't know if anyone will ever find that thing.
He was looking in the lake for
Spent
like
4 hours in the lake, and yeah,
Yeah. So
and then a couple
I don't
hours I
know
was
what's
trying to break into the comfort hut. I was
I
trying to
was,
get that apple.
yeah, I took the little shovel and I was trying to
And the producers kept saying, "No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that." But I was still gonna try. I should have bit the
uh,
apple, but I didn't.
should have. Yeah.
It is funny
But
though with the Ken and Michelle stuff.
mhm.
And they were jumping around, but he was like, "Oh, maybe there could have a little romance," you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like
She's
immediately nothing.
instantly gone. Yeah. I had a feeling
Not
when he
even a
said
full
that
episode of her.
when he said that and then like we were getting like, oh, she's on the outs, and I was like, wow, she's going home. Just like, you don't talk. She's like, he was like, you don't talk to anyone but me. He's like, you don't really. He's just like, everyone's gonna vote you out. He's like, just so, it's like so upfront with her about it.
Yeah,
So
and it's like there's only so much you can fight for the hot girl to stay in, you know. But
true, it's true. Well, there's some babes over on the other team, but
oh yeah, there's plenty of them. There's plenty of them
yeah,
here, and then the second person voted out was one of them, Jillian. We lost Jillian
Jillian.
too soon. Jillian was
Dude, that
quite the
accent,
character herself.
the accent Randy can't stand. Apparently,
She's like a
that's like
character
one of the
dropped
first
right
things
in
he
there,
said.
you know.
Yeah.
She like could be on like Nigel Thornberry or something, you know, like that kind of.
She's like a wild yeah, she's like related to the wild thornberries or something. I could not pin her accent for the life of me, by the way.
Hmm.
Like, I was trying to figure it out the whole time.
Let me see. They never mentioned it?
No, it was like, it was sort of like, there were times where it sounded like Welsh, and there were times it sounded like Pennsylvania Dutch. It's like, I couldn't figure it out. Maybe she was making it up. Maybe she doesn't have an accent.
It says her hometown is California. It's in California.
Okay.
Hold on, she's got a website, JillianLarson.com, motivational speaker. I grew up in a small town just outside of Johannesburg, South Africa.
Okay. So she said, I guess, South African accent then.
Guess so.
That didn't sound. That's interesting. That didn't. I guess I haven't
I
heard
grew up playing
South African in a
sports and
while.
learning all about the African bush and African wildlife. I had a wonderful African nanny, Mabel, who instilled in me a deep love of my country and the spirit of Africa. Oh wow! And she got on Survivor Gabon. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
So yeah,
So South African. Interesting. I guess I haven't heard that in a while because I could not pin it.
yeah,
So.
Randy was not a fan of her.
No, he's not a big fan of that. I
He
guess.
said, "Old ladies can stay the hell away from our tribe, from my tribe."
Yeah, he's just straight up.
But like, how old is Randy? Like,
Yeah, that's what I
he's like
want to know.
right there with her.
I mean, he immediately gives me the greatest impression of all time because it's just like, I'm a wedding videographer and I hate
I hate
weddings.
weddings. Yeah.
And
Wow.
basically, he's just like, I find no joy in the weddings, and
I feel
like,
you. I feel you
I'm
on
just
that.
like, he's like, I never want to get married. And I was like, this is something
I'm
else.
not really interested in traditional weddings and stuff like that. And like that's often for like videographers and video editors and stuff that often end up like doing wedding videos and stuff. So I would probably be right there with them, just hating it. You know,
So
I
my
do the weddings, but I hate them. I hate weddings.
oh my so here's the thing. My friend Dan, absolutely not. This is the
He's the
so
opposite.
he's one of my best friends. He's a wedding videographer.
Hmm.
No, he's all here for it. The thing is like, a lot of his he gets a smattering of both, of like the traditional stuff, and then he also gets like very unique, unusual things. And I mean, I mean, the stuff he makes is amazing. It's not like super rote or like overly, I guess, traditional in terms of like how it's shot.
Yeah.
It's very much like, I mean, it's modern. It's like a he likes to bring the drone out. That's a fun little thing. He likes to use those drone shots. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but he loves weddings. He thinks weddings are great. I mean, he's
Perfect.
also happily married,
Yeah.
so maybe that's why he enjoys them.
All
But
right. So then we have the GC Chronicles here. So
hmm
GC. Um.
the GC Chronicles, the GC
Golden Child. I, don't,
the
yeah, I still don't know
GCGC.
if that's like what it means or if that's just Randy's little nickname for it.
Maybe
I don't know.
maybe I don't know.
But yeah, they were not. They were button heads a little bit there.
Mm,
And so we have this whole thing with like, no one wants to be the leader. And
yeah.
then Jeff brings it up at the first tribal council. Does anyone want to be the leader? No one. No one even moves a muscle. And GC is like, says a couple words. What did he say? He's like,
He's just yeah.
I just think people should like decide, like the people should
Yeah,
decide
we
who they
should just
want,
decide or something. Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then there immediately just a million voices. Oh yeah, GC. Actually, you would be really
Yeah,
good.
GC,
Yeah,
you'd
I
be
think
really good
GC.
at
I'm
it.
there with you.
He's
Uh,
just like, okay.
and then he went down the whole line. You okay with this?
Yeah.
Like as if, what kind of vote is that? There's a reason that people vote in private, even on Survivor. It's just like 7 people in a row have said yes. Are you okay with this now? Oh
Yeah.
no, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, no, I wouldn't
Yeah,
want to
he
go
just said like no, and then
either.
he was like, wait. And then he's like, make up your mind. Do you want that or
No,
not? And he's like,
I'm
fine.
saying, ask
Fine.
people to vote like that. If you have 7
Yeah.
people in a row that say yes, and you're at the eighth person, you think they're gonna give you an honest answer?
Yeah.
No, after the first at least 2
Yeah,
that say
absolutely
yes,
not.
everyone else just has to say yes, regardless. You need this public forum.
It was very silly that it all went down like that.
What if Jeff is just like, we're actually
But
gonna go, we're gonna have you go in and vote, and you're gonna vote
yeah,
for
we're
a
gonna
leader.
vote right now. This is what we're actually voting for right
We're gonna do a before the vote out. We're gonna vote for a leader, and you're gonna have to stay the leader and like it.
now. And you'll have to be the leader from here on out. Yeah, because then when they come back, he's just like, yeah, I mean, okay, say I'm not the leader anymore,
He's like, I'm not. I didn't want to do this, so I'm just not gonna do this,
and
and I
yeah,
resign. All right.
yeah, and then it was also like, and then things got better after I stopped doing it. But I also like how Dan was like when he was telling everybody at camp, he's just like, "Fine, I'm not gonna, I don't want to be a leader anymore." And Dan was like actively mad, like he was just like, "I can't believe it. He's the leader and he quit."
Yeah. What kind of leader quits?
Yeah, it's just like but he didn't want to be the leader. Oh,
As
it's
if
like you
like,
forced it on him.
yeah, it's like as if he was like, I will lead.
Yeah.
Like that's how he's acting. Like what kind of leader quits? Well, maybe one who like was hesitantly kind of voted in. That
On
seems most likely to quit.
Now on the flip side here,
Yeah.
he was trying to embrace his role. He was like, I'm gonna
He,
be a leader. I gotta step up. And then he is given the littlest amount of resistance. He like loses his temper. He's just like, I'm not the leader anymore. And I'm like, my God, all she did was ask you to shut the fuck up when you're there sleeping.
That's how you get yourself voted out, Jillian. Sorry.
Yeah.
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 Though it's like Jillian probably just got voted out because she was an old lady, huh?
Yeah. Because
And it just her like annoying people just kind of helped.
yeah. Yeah, right.
But
But
if she was a strong young man and was being annoying,
yeah.
she would have
Right.
made it to the final tribal council. I mean,
Yeah, she's the final
the
travel
privilege you
immediately.
have coming in like not being an old lady. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
But here's the thing: we've had a lot of old ladies in the towards the end because people will bring them along because they're an easy, it's like an easy shoe-in. That's why
But it is
people keep
always
them around.
that's one of my least favorite things about early Survivor is that like a lot of times these first votes it's like who are we gonna vote out? Well, we can either vote out the oldest person or the weakest, like smallest girl. It's like
Yeah.
that's probably what
It's
we're gonna do.
yeah, because like we need to keep the tribe strong early on. So
So it's always the deck. The deck is stacked a little bit against the women, especially the
mm.
smaller or older women. You know, if you can be that athletic woman, you're there, you're good. But otherwise, it's
But
like,
the thing
damn,
is, like Michelle, yeah, Michelle seemed like she was fine. I mean, she did it pretty well during the first challenge,
right?
and then they were like complaining that she went too hard or whatever.
Yeah, her thing was like both a personality thing, but also it's like,
Yeah,
well, she's also a little woman, so
she's just a little lady, you
so
know.
that works too. Two birds, one stone. Negative
She's a little
Nancy.
lady, and I'm seeing way too much skin. So.
Right. But the cameraman didn't mind, you know.
No, cameraman was like, hell yeah. It's like we're just gonna zoom, we're just gonna slow down a little
It's
bit
like,
here
why
on
are
the
you
wall.
zooming in on that cameraman? We don't see it at home. That makes it seem like
Yeah.
you have a different agenda here. just, just all censor. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Just
Cool.
that's for Zoom private reel.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Gross. It's so gross. Uh.
But yeah,
So
that's always been my least favorite part of Survivor. It's just that the
yeah.
beginning stages. Every now and then you get like a guy who's weird, and you
Yep.
say, "Oh, let's get him
I
out."
think yeah, Peter. Peter's a weirdo. Well, that's the thing. We got Dan. Dan's kind of a weirdo, but he's still stuck around a little bit.
I'm trying to think back, like how
Ace
often.
Ace is also kind of a weirdo. I think he's the weirdo on the other tribe.
I'm trying to think back of how often we have like an athletic guy voted out first. It's got to be like one out of the entire like, thing. I feel
Yeah, it's not
like
frequently.
Vanuatu. I think like because the older guys made a point to band together
Right.
against the
Right.
young guys. Other than that, it's like you could be like the worst Survivor player, but you got some muscle on you, and you're cruising
Mm.
for a bit, you know? Because
Oh, we didn't even
James,
talk about
yeah,
the fact that Randy got cut on his head.
yeah, he
It-
was going to see what the elephant was up to, and he came back with just a gash. So can you take a look at this? I think I might have
and
gotten.
I will say, okay, so for my critique of it being kind of a little bit dull this episode, but there were some really funny moments like that where it's like ooh, what's that? Ooh, and it's like it shows him going out, and then it cuts to the camera and it's only showing his torso. He's like, yeah, I ran into something, and they're like, oh my god, and it's so only showing this. It's like, oh, what are we gonna show? And we pan up to it. Yeah.
It's like
So
it's like in
that was
the
very
Survivor,
funny.
like in some of these dramatic Survivor next time on Survivor things, like they'll be like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And then you see in the actual episode they just like tripped over a rock. It's
It's like nothing.
but it's like in the previews, like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And it's just like blood
Yeah.
everywhere, shaky camera. He's like,
It's a
and
good fan.
it'll be like a Frankenstein type edit of it.
Edit.
It's like,
Yeah.
I think I
It's
might die here.
yeah,
You know,
it's a clip, it's an audio clip from something else is put into here, and then like the visual is not actually what was, yeah.
but they also like do
So
like to cut together in the confessionals, like when you
mm,
don't see the person talking, to like cut words together. Like there was one point in this episode that you pointed out, I forget what it was,
yeah.
something about a rock, and it was like,
Yeah.
I think we needed rock, and it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
it's
what?
like,
So it was like it's fine, very, very by the numbers Survivor, which I guess is not a bad thing per se, but it's just I will say one of the hugest benefits, the thing that I've enjoyed the most so far is being able to use the natural landscape to decide the whole arenas of the challenges. That
Mhm.
has been super cool. So
Yeah, and it's definitely
big ups on that one.
a nice change of pace from like
Yeah,
like at least
beaches.
last season. Yeah, a few of the last seasons released were all like beaches, except for
Hmm.
China. It's like just very tropical. You're doing something in water, or you're around the same looking kind of environment. It's completely
Hmm.
different. It's just wide open landscapes. Elephants. You like um a lot of great B-roll footage here. I mean, this great wildlife to work with here.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the B-roll is amazing. I mean, so they are really utilizing the that widescreen format, I think, pretty well overall. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
so Jillian, we got a little bit out of her, a wacky character, but I think ultimately she'll be remembered as the woman who sucked on the hill, and that'll be her title.
That's the woman who
Even though she
sucked on
wanted
the
to be
hill.
known as more than that, and she just wasn't.
Yeah, but that's no,
Caught up to
that's
her.
all she'll be. That's all she'll
Yeah, I
be.
remember the first challenge. She like Maddie was getting handfuls of Jillian's ass the whole time up that
This
hill.
is all that was going on.
The challenge was like over, and he still got full ass pushing her up.
Like pushing her up. Uh
Randy also had the Operation Let Others Crash and Burn. This is
oh
Operation.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's quite the operation name.
He's
It's
just
not
like
Operation
he's
Crash
basically
and Burn.
he's basically like there's a bunch of freaks individuals on this tribe, so I don't
There's a
blame
bunch of
DC for not
freaks.
wanting to lead.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to lead these guys anyway either.
Yeah, that's
So.
he was honest about that. He was just like, I don't know. That's why he said, yeah, how about yeah, Randy, how about you? Good luck.
Yeah,
That's what he
yeah,
said to
exactly.
nominate him.
He knew, but he just wanted them to
Yeah.
crash and burn.
Yeah.
So, and Dan's lucky that Jillian happened to be an old lady as well, because everybody was sus of Dan. Everybody was sus
Yeah,
of
they were
Dan
just
coming
like
back.
he's got the idol. He's a lawyer. He knows what's going on.
He was being weird about it for some reason.
Yeah,
He was
I
like
don't know why he was. Yeah,
I can't
saying
really
stuff
talk
like
about it. I think I made a bad choice. And then
he's just like, what?
he's like,
They were all like,
it
"What are you
makes
talking
you
about?"
rethink everything, right?
Makes you rethink your reasons for being out here. And I was like, "What are you talking about? No, it doesn't." That was that actually was like, what? You even said when you were out there, you're like, "Oh, I gotta go with the clue. I'm out here for $1 million. I'm not here for comfort." And then I guess him looking around for an idol for 6 hours really made him rethink
Oh yeah,
wanting a
it'll make
million
you
dollars.
rethink.
I guess that's insane to me. That's crazy. Makes you rethink everything about being out here.
And looking longingly into the caged apple, you know.
Yeah, how long do you think he was there for? He said he spent 6 hours
Three of
trying to
it,
search for the
3 of the
idol, but
hours were
maybe
there.
the 8 hours
It's like
just staring
maybe it's
longingly
actually
at
just
the.
over here. Like that's the trick.
Maybe I could use the force. Maybe if I could just move the apple into my hand.
And then Crystal even says in tribal council, she's like, "You're a very intelligent gentleman, and I think you actually did get the idol." And then
Yeah.
he's like, he dumps his bag. He's like, "I don't see any idol here."
Yeah. It's not me. I don't got it.
I don't know. It
No.
it like it seemed like too much of a reaction. I mean, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, right?
I guess so, yeah.
It's like
Well,
you don't react enough, but it's like, oh
yeah.
well. And he didn't seem very passionate about not having the idol. And then you
No.
react too much. It's like, oh wow, he really wants us to know he doesn't have this idol, huh? Makes me think
Like
he got the
really
idol.
wants us to know.
Say, damn. They put a mark out on. They put a hit out on Dan when they sent him to exile because he came back just to got a target for that. Even though Dan said they made a mistake sending a strong person to exile. Like, what do he thinks like? You should send like a weak person to just like break under the pressure
Yeah.
of Exile Island.
I
Like,
guess, yeah, something like that. Well, that's what he started off saying, and now he's rethinking that whole thing. Maybe you do send a strong person there because they don't even know what's going on. They can't keep everything straight, and they're going insane. And then when they come back to their tribe, they're just all wacky and weird and mysterious for no reason.
Yep. So Fong Tribe is struggling. We'll see if they're able to pull something together in this next episode.
Yeah.
But until then, who would you give your MVP for this first episode? Double episode, only one MVP.
I think I'm giving it to Randy. Randy with his little quips. I gotta give it to Randy.
Okay, there you go. Every episode, Alec gives out an MVP for any reason. Doesn't have to be the best player. You don't even have to be the most interesting. Sometimes it's arbitrary reasons.
Yeah.
So
It's true. It's very true.
But come back next week for another episode of Survivor Gabon. All right.
All right.
Until next
See you
time,
then.
why don't you go check out our review of Eternals. All right.
Sure.
Check that out.
Yeah.
We do lots of reviews and discussions on movies, video games, television, and a bunch of shenanigans on this channel. So feel free to check those out as well. Survivor every week. And until next time, take care of yourself, all right?
Okay. All right.
Dobra.